Hi guys, welcome to my channel. How are you all doing? So today we'll talk about backdated notice to quit. This means that your landlord served you with a notice to quit and it was backdated. He served you on January today, and then when you looked at the notice, you noticed that the notice to quit itself was dated the 25th day of July 2025, while it was served on you on the 3rd day of January 2026. That's what we meant by backdated notice. When you are served with this kind of notice, you don't need to panic. You don't need to cry. What you have to do is, when he gives you a copy of that notice, make sure you snap the notice itself, or you ask him for a copy which you will endorse. When you are given a copy to endorse, while endorsing, write time and date when you received the notice. Then after receiving the notice, sit down and look at the notice properly and make sure that it is dated. If that notice is not properly dated or it is backdated, raise alarm immediately. And alarm here doesn't mean you start shouting or making noise or making problems with your landlord. Alarm here means that you have to send your landlord a text message telling him that the notice which was served on you on the 3rd day of January 2026 was backdated to the 25th day, was backdated, that the date on the notice is different from the date of service. Make sure that whatever text messages, whether WhatsApp messages or ordinary text messages that you sent to your landlord, is recorded. You keep it as receipts. The implication of your landlord serving you with a backdated notice is that the notice itself is ineffective. That notice cannot be used to eject you or evict you from the house. But you have to raise it properly. Because the landlord might say he served you, so let it be on record. Your text message is telling him that the notice itself was backdated and that you are only served on the 3rd day of January. How the law usually considers notice to quit that is backdated, the law considers it ineffective. And secondly, the law presumes that the notice to quit itself takes into effect or comes into effect or starts counting on the day the notice was served on you, not on the date of filing. So if the notice was dated the 25th day of July 2025, while it was served on you on the 3rd day of January 2026, the law assumes that the notice started counting on the 3rd day of January 2026 and not the 25th day. If the landlord goes to court with such a notice when he served you on January, and because he backdated it, he felt that the notice itself has elapsed, and he decides to go to court to evict you, the court cannot act with such a notice because the notice itself is ineffective. The backdated notice itself is ineffective. The court cannot use it. The court will start counting your notice to quit from the date of service, not on the backdated date. And if the landlord decides to go to court before the number of months he was supposed to give you elapsed, when he gets to court, on reaching court, please raise the defense of ineffective service. Present your evidence. Once you've done that, the court can no longer act on such notices. The court will ask the landlord to go back, because the service of those notices is fundamental. The court will ask the landlord to go back and serve you the proper notices. So what is the key take from this video? The key take is that the landlord cannot serve you with a backdated notice. If he does that, the law says it is ineffective, and the notice starts reading or counting from the date of service, not the date on the backdated notice. It starts counting from the date with which you were served with the notice. If the landlord does not agree with this, if he goes to court, court cannot act on it. He can only go back and then bring up another notice and serve you properly. Don't let anybody intimidate you. This is January. If this kind of thing comes up, please talk to a lawyer. Good day and have a beautiful Wednesday.